What's up, future fighters? We are back. We're uploading a video for you. The previous video, we will get back to that for sure. But right now, we're actually looking at the combo escape sequence in the Shadow AI's GameMaker code. And so, one thing we're wondering is why trigger end combo here and go into GP release, gamepad release, and then set the strike move, and then have to loop all the way back through it in order to come down here and execute the actual move. And the reason is because you need one cycle to fit this main AI loop. You need that one cycle to do that. That's kind of how the system is built. And while you could argue with me, and you would be right, that we lose one step of the game in doing that, the only other way to program it would be to be able to enter that sequence here. And so how would we do that? Let's just pontificate on that just for a second to see if that's something we want to do. I'm not quite sure that it is. Well, what you would need to do is you would need to capture this execute combo up top. So you'd have to enter it here. What's the one parameter for? What is that? Release move forward or not? Okay, so that would definitely be a yes. Now that would be pretty radical, because I mean you could even see here that when a threat is present, what we do is we use end combo just to reset the variables. We're not using it to actually take advantage of this switch statement and actually use one of these moves. We're overriding it. And you know, we're going into block, but of course that just sets the index, which has to be looped back to be actually applied. You don't actually execute the combo here. And really, the entire structure, I mean, really, if you look here, the entire structure is based on this. You know, all of these if statements are nested in, and so once you hit this or this or this, this script is terminated and starts back over. So it's not, you're thinking about the move on this step, and then you're going into the move on the next step. A lot like your brain would do, just a lot faster. But I think that changing and reorganizing that structure just to save one step, while I see the advantage of that now, when I built the system, this was sort of my way and my experience of using looped code in the best manner possible. Just get that one step break between things. I always seem to have less problems later. So we're gonna keep it that way. We're gonna keep it that way, and we're gonna move on to, what are we gonna move on to next? We're gonna move on to following the rest of the code through. Now that we've done the main loop, we're gonna do that next. And so before we do that though, go to docbrockgames.com and check out the alpha version of the game. You can see the features that I currently have in this version of the game, the 2 characters that I've motion captured in the game, those motion captures moves in action, and some screenshots, and then you can put your email address in at the bottom, and I'll let you know when the game comes out. Then come back to YouTube, because this AI is not going to make itself. Not yet, at least. See you then.